Being your authentic self in this world can sometimes be scary. Sometimes we've been conditioned, we've heard so many people say in direct and indirect forms that somehow you are wrong. There is something wrong with you. And as we're all human and we all crave connection, we all need love. As children, and maybe even as adults, we started finding strategies and ways to fit in, to bend ourselves into pretzels so that we would be pleasing to others as opposed to being true to our own hearts. And yes, this may serve temporarily to keep social niceties and keep things peaceful. But if you're really honest, when you do something to please somebody else that is not in alignment with what you truly desire or believe in, then you are not creating peace, you're creating conflict within yourself. And the more this happens, the more likely you are to feel resentment. Now, giving from a place of resentment, doing anything for anyone from a place of resentment is definitely a strategy for discord at so many levels. And this is why it is essential at some point in your life to ask yourself, who am I? What it is that I want? What are my true talents? How do I get to show up in the world in a way that is authentic and courageous so that I will not spend my life trying to be some copy of someone else, which I can truly never master, but really spend my life trying to be the fullest potential, the best version of myself. Now, the beauty of reconnecting with yourself, the beauty of being authentic, is that that's the only way you can truly give the world the gift of your unique self. Now, some might be saying, yes, but if I'm authentic all the time and I only do what I want, then does that mean I'm selfish, etc., etc.? Well, I ask you, in those moments where you people please, are you being generous? Because let's be honest, if you did it simply because you wanted to be liked, then that in itself is selfish. Another thing I really want to land here is that, yes, authenticity is great. However, there are some barriers that we have to it. One of these barriers is people pleasing, like I have just already shared. The other one is perfectionism. When we are perfectionists, you just simply want to understand that this is not something to be wearing as a badge of honor, just like I did. Perfectionism is a sign that you need to control your image or just your environment, because deep inside, you do not feel worthy except certain things are done in a certain way, which means that it is underpinned by shame. So the more you need to be perfect, the more shame you may be grappling with. And if you're grappling with shame, then you will hide your true self because you do not believe that you are lovable. And if you do not believe you are lovable, then you're going to work for love. You're going to earn love. And in your model of the world, earning love may look like doing everything perfectly, making sure everybody else is happy, never making a mistake, avoiding criticism like the plague. These are ways in which we try and earn love. The fact being that no matter how well we do a certain task, no matter how incredible our results, we cannot be loved for those things because they are not who we are. They are the results we create, the things that we do, and they may be pleasing and agreeable and satisfactory. but it is not you that is loved. If you look at those people who truly know that they are worthy, who truly love themselves, who do not suffer from deep shame, even when they make mistakes, they own up, they show up, because they expect the world to love them in spite of those mistakes, because that's how they treat themselves. And so it is really, really important, if authenticity and being your true self, reconnecting with your true self, is something that you desire to do, to work on shame if you have a perfectionist streak. Now, any huge big goal that you have not achieved yet, I like to say that if you shift your identity, then you shift your destiny. And so if the results in your life are X, it means that you are at X. That's the vibration at which you are. If you want X times 10, then you get to become the person who has X times 10. And I would like to invite you to look at it this way. This is not about adding things to yourself. Imagine that everything you needed was already in you. Let's look at this as a revelation process. So it's about taking layers and constructs off instead of adding something to you. So my invitation is to look at it this way. The more authentic you are, the more you can truly stand in your greatness. Because you're no longer resisting yourself and expending incredible amounts of energy trying to hide or suppress who you truly are. You allow who you are come up and show up. And if there are versions of yourself or aspects of yourself that you know no longer serve you and will not support you in achieving your goals, then because you've been authentic, because you've allowed yourself see them, then you may shift. Again, it's a shift. A coin has two faces. So even in those shadows are incredible gifts. Without authenticity, it is extremely difficult to actually embrace and succeed in a personal transformational journey. And why is personal transformation essential? Because your personal reality is determined by your personality. And your personality is not a fatality. You can totally change it intentionally. But how can you change what you refuse to see? How can you change what you're resisting with all your might? In fact, it will persist. And so for those of you, my friends, who have wow goals, you get to become your wow self. I have seen so many women light up when they connect with that vision, that dream that they have not dared to dream for a long time. I've seen so many women stand tall and reveal who they truly could be as they just authentically start walking to the beat of their own hearts. If you're walking to the beat of somebody else's heart, there will always be tension, because it will simply be off for you. And that is why it's essential. If you truly want to be the best version of yourself, to make that big difference in the world, to have higher impact, higher influence, and higher income, then authenticity is one of the gates that you must walk through. Is it easy every day? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely. And authenticity does not mean being rude or abrasive or oversharing. No. It simply means being true to yourself. Being able to say yes when it's a yes. Being able to say no when it's a no. And if you can be graciously authentic, fantastic. I'd love to know what's coming up for you. In what moments do you find it difficult to be authentic? Is it more at work? Is it more in your personal lives? Is it when it comes to romantic relationships? Is it even with your friends because you have lived with them for so long and you have changed and you just don't know how to shift the dynamic, because relationship dynamics are very important. Where is it that you find it most difficult to be authentic? See it, and without judgment, see how you can then choose to shift it. Your destiny is in your hands. When you start to walk to the beat of your heart, to connect to what it is that you truly want to do, to become who you truly are, watch the magic start in your life. As I love to say, becoming yourself is so essential, because when you're truly yourself and you start to intentionally manifest, the universe knows what address to deliver it to. But if you ask for something and you are not quite asking from your authentic self, there is confusion as to who's asking, where is she, where does she live? Do you understand? This is so important. Drop your comments in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Where in your life are you finding it difficult to be authentic? Love and light.